host.
I'm connected to the Wi-Fi, I think.
Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Yichao, and this is the live stream question and answer for retailers, you guys. I'm here today with Brian Trunk, Global Brand Manager, and we're going to be talking to you guys a little bit more in detail about the Planeswalker decks and bundles that were announced on Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're just going to give you guys a moment to kind of log in and check in. And we're going to be here about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll be talking through some different talking points. Jordan, our good friend, is going to be just off camera. He'll be collecting your questions. Feel free to type those up in the comments. We'll be gathering those and answering those questions throughout as well. So we'll kind of be alternating between giving you guys a little bit more information, answering questions, and then if we get to it, we might loop back around to giving that information again for folks to log in a little bit later. But that's kind of the plan here. Thank you guys so much for watching. So to kick us off, Brian, can you tell us a little bit more about the Planeswalker decks and what's all in them?
Sure. We had a really exciting announcement yesterday. For the first time, we announced about 6 months worth of product. And with that, one of the things that we had a major change was we replaced our intro packs with something called Planeswalker Decks. I know there's been a lot of questions. We're going to kind of address some of those today as we talk to you guys. But what we're going to do is release 2 Planeswalker decks with each set. In the Planeswalker decks, just like their name, there's a Planeswalker on the front. That Planeswalker is standard legal. It's not the same Planeswalker that's in the set. It's a little bit more fan-friendly for some of those new players coming into the game. These Planeswalker decks are 60 card decks, standard legal. There's still 2 booster packs in that deck. There is also 5 to 7 new cards per deck. Those new cards are not in the set itself. So for Kaladesh, they're not in that set. They're in the Planeswalker decks. And so if you're a collector, you're probably going to want to pick these up as well to fill out your collection. We're really excited because we feel this is a great onboarding for some of those new players. One of the questions that came across was, hey, can we still use these as open dueling at pre-release? And we are going to continue to encourage open dueling at pre-release. We know that a lot of people bring a friend or bring a significant other to their pre-release and they're not really engaged. And they're like, I don't know if I really want to play, it's a little intimidating. And we know that a lot of open dueling happens by bringing a friend or in between rounds or at the end of the day, they're like, hey, I still want to play. And so they really jump in open dueling with one of these Planeswalker decks. Additionally, it's a great avenue to just, to learn the game and the mechanics of the set.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about the Planeswalker deck is that it is tied into the story and the set that it's going to be coming out with, right? So we showed off the Chandra packaging, right? Because we're headed to Kaladesh, Chandra's home plane,
right.
And also within the deck itself, the mechanics of the set of Kaladesh are reflected in these Planeswalker decks as well. So it's great for new players to get a sense of the story, get a sense of some of the mechanics specific to the set.
Right, it really amplifies the story that we're going with. So what you'll see with the Planeswalker decks moving forward is it'll be the Planeswalker stories that are resonant for that current set.
Awesome. Now, bundles is the other thing that's kind of exciting and kind of a old new thing, right?
Kind of an old new thing. We felt that it was time on Monday. We updated the name of the Fat Pack. We changed it to the bundle. We heard some retailer questions on it. Why would you make the name change? We felt that the Fat Pack just didn't really represent what the product was, and so for anyone coming into the game or even being an engaged player, we wanted the name to resonate on actually what you're purchasing. We feel that it is a great bundle of product. We added a booster to provide a little bit more additional value for the players that are purchasing it. It still has a player's guide. It still has that 80 card land pack. Still comes with a dice, player's guide, and a rules reference card. So we're still excited with the bundle. We just felt that it was time to update the name.
Awesome. So those are kind of the 2 main things we wanted to talk with you guys and products we wanted to introduce to you guys today. We have a couple questions coming in, but we also had some questions that were asked ahead of time. So I wanted to get to the questions that were asked ahead of time first and see if we can run through some of those. So one question is actually related to another product we announced as part of that announcement on Monday, which is the Conspiracy Draft Pack. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
On Monday, we updated the announcement for Conspiracy. Conspiracy 2 was already announced to come out in the fall, but we had an update to that announcement, and that was that we were going to launch a draft pack, and it was in our mass channel only. There were some questions on why we would do a draft pack like that at mass market, and I think some of the wording in the announcement we're going to update because it came across incorrect, and that is we're always wanting to have our players experience and have a great entertainment experience in your store. And if players aren't playing in the store, and Conspiracy is a great example of a product that is a really casual, friendly format. And we know that a lot of players are playing Conspiracy at home. What we wanted to do is give them an opportunity, if they are at-home players, is purchase Conspiracy where they're currently purchasing some of their Magic product or their groceries, and then we have strong messaging inside that draft pack to drive them into your store. We're really trying to look at that casual player and how do we get them into the store environments.
Right, and this is all part of that.
Exactly.
Awesome. Another question about Conspiracy was, is Conspiracy 2 going to be North America only?
Conspiracy 2 is not North American, it's global. It will be in all the regions that we currently print Magic. It is in English, Chinese Simplified, and Japanese.
Awesome. Shifting gears back to the Planeswalker decks, Brian wanted to know if the Planeswalker decks were going to be in both sets, if there's going to be decks rather for both sets in a block or just 2 decks for the whole block.
Great question. There's going to be 2 Planeswalker decks for every set, so you always have 2.
Cool. Then Stacy wanted to know a little bit more about the Planeswalker decks and if they're replacing the intro decks and how that works with open dueling.
They are. We've removed the intro packs and replaced them with the Planeswalker decks, but again, one of Stacy's questions, they'll definitely be available at the pre-release.
Cool. And then Alejandro was asking about the Facebook tab that we did for Shadows over Innistrad and what our plans are going forward. And actually, we posted yesterday an article in the Facebook group about the tab. We're going to be using it to preview an exclusive card for Eternal Masters. So if you guys have uninstalled the tab or moved it off of the main page, I encourage you guys to put it back there. Let your players know about it. We really want to use this tab as a way to help you guys drive more traffic to your Facebook pages and help you guys in your social media marketing. So this preview card is going to be exclusive to this tab. This is the only venue that we're letting people know about this card. Pretty excited about that. And we're hearing your feedback about other ways to make better use of the tab throughout the season of a product. So we're going to be looking at very cool and exciting other ways we're going to be using the tab as well. Yeah, let's see if we have any questions from you guys live here. Looks like we have a question from Travis. He says, I feel like there's more product coming at a faster pace. Has there not been a concern of flooding the market?
Thanks, Travis. You've noticed this year we had with Eternal Masters and then Conspiracy 2, we have those 2 sets coming out in the summer, which kind of bookends Eldritch Moon there. I think we are working on making sure that we lengthen out that schedule. I don't think we're flooding the market only because of the fact that these are different products for different player types in your store. You look at a Conspiracy 2, it's much more of a casual format. You have that Eternal set, which is much more of an engaged player set. So we are trying to lengthen those things out. I think next year we've done a better job as we start seeing some of those announcements come out. As we said, we're going to work on the 2 announcements per year. So when we get to September, you'll see another announcement, which will lay out the first 6, further than 6 months of next year. You'll see how we've kind of fixed, I think, some of the issues that you're talking about in terms of having those sets kind of crowd into each other.
Great. Another question we had, not so much a question as an exclamation. James says, love, and I repeat, I love the Planeswalker decks. Thanks so much, James. Like I said, I'm equally excited about them. I think they're going to be really exciting for a lot of different reasons, both story and mechanics. And we really think it's going to be a great way to introduce new players to the game, kind of as the next step up from the sample/welcome decks that you guys are using now. So we're really pretty stoked about this product.
I mean, they're the great, James, you're right. They're going to be really good. I've seen them, we've played with them, and they're the best first paper purchase that you can give players in your store. You show them welcome decks, you teach them how to play with it, and they're really going to be able to get into the game with the Planeswalker decks, and then feel what it's like to play with a Planeswalker, which is just going to be wanting them to purchase, a deck builder's toolkit and then boosters to fill that out to see if they can get one of the Planeswalkers that's in the set, because as we all know, playing with a Planeswalker is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ways. I have a commander deck that's just Planeswalkers.
Nice.
Awesome. So as we're kind of hanging out, listening to you guys for more questions, if you guys have checked in and want to move on to doing other things, that's totally cool. We're just going to be going through and talking back through the talking points about Planeswalker decks and bundles again for anyone who's just joining us and tuning in now. So if you guys have been with us from the beginning and you've asked your question, we'll check in with you later. And if you just joined us recently, welcome, and we're going to be talking a little bit about Planeswalker decks and bundles and what's inside all of those. And again, this is Brian Trunk, Global Brand Manager. My name's Yichao, I'm the Community Manager for WPN, and we're really excited to be having this conversation with you. So let's go back through it, Brian.
Okay.
Tell us all about those Planeswalker decks.
So on Monday, we had a really exciting announcement. We announced that we were coming out with a new product. It was called the Planeswalker deck. It will be replacing the intro packs. The Planeswalker decks are super exciting. There's 60 card standard legal decks with a Planeswalker on the front of each one of the decks. So for Kaladesh, you're seeing, the packaging yesterday. We showed the Chandra packaging, and it's really exciting to have a Planeswalker on the front there. It really resonates with the story and amplifies what's going on in the story, and really gives a player, a new player, a touch point of what's going on with our Planeswalkers. There's also 5 to 7 new cards in each one of those decks that's not in the set itself. So if you're a collector, like a lot of us are, you're going to want to pick these up to fill out your collection.
Great. And then we also made an announcement about bundles and kind of an old new product, right?
We did. So yesterday, we made the change to the name of the Fat Pack. We updated it to the bundle. I know there's been some retailer questions of like, hey, why'd you guys update the name? We felt that it was time to update the name. The Fat Pack actually didn't resonate with our consumers and coming into your store saying, hey, what's in a Fat Pack versus it is a bundle of product. We really felt it was time to update that name. We added a booster pack to it. You're still going to get the 80 card land pack. You're still going to get a player's guide. You're still going to get your dice and a rules reference card. We just felt that it was time to refresh the name of that product.
Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for both of those products. We have another question from Eric. Eric wants to know, will the conspiracy sets be able to be drafted together for all the same sets? So I assume you're asking about Conspiracy 1 and 2. Will those two sets play well together?
That's a great question. I have not had a chance to try that myself, but I have heard from R&D that you can actually play them together.
I do know that there's some returning mechanics, some new mechanics, but it is still all focused on multiplayer draft and kind of the fun of that format and everything you're going to find in that. Another question we have, James asks, are we still getting 2 dual decks a year?
Well, you saw that we announced, thanks James for the question, you saw that we announced one of the dual decks. At this point in time, that's all we have in terms of the information of the dual decks. But stay tuned in September as we make another 6 months worth of product announcements, and we'll update you then in terms of the future of dual decks and what the next dual deck will be.
Yeah, so the dual deck that was announced is Nissa versus Nyxlis, and as Brian was saying, we'll have a lot more information with our new kind of 2 major points of announcements throughout the year. Andrew asks, I guess I have the same question for the bundle. Are those only printed once? So the bundles are going to be the same going forward for all the different sets. Is that correct?
In terms of, you said you have the same question for the bundle. So you'll get a bundle for every large set, and you'll get a bundle for every set that you currently get a Fat Pack for, which is every set that we make, the 4 block sets a year. So, for example, there's another question. This is the context. Oh, okay. Thanks, Andrew. We were just getting additional context. In terms of the Planeswalker decks for you guys, in terms of what you're thinking, Andrew, I'm going to try and answer your question the best I can. Andrew had asked, what's the print run on the Planeswalker decks? I just want to set expectations. We don't typically discuss our print runs in terms of our product, but our expectations, Andrew, is that you would sell, we're hoping that we're planning on the Planeswalker decks being as exciting as the intro packs are, in terms of you having 5 and then having 2. Our expectations are these are going to do really well and do better than the intro packs, just because of the mechanics that are inside, the Planeswalkers that are in there, and the 5 to 7 unique cards. I would expect for them to be really, really good sellers in the store.
Yeah, great. And then James wants to know if the Planeswalker decks are evergreen. And I'm assuming that means, are they going to be around for every set going forward?
They are going to be around for every set moving forward. Instead of having the intro packs, you'll have the Planeswalker decks, and you'll have 2 for each set. So, by the time we get into, next spring, you could see 6 different Planeswalker decks that you could purchase.
Cool. I'm pretty excited for that. Let's see. Then we have a question from Eric again. Are the decks limited or like Fat Packs?
So Eric, my philosophy behind that product is to make sure that it's always available. There's constantly a flow of new players coming into your stores, and this is the best first paper purchase. We need to make sure that those Planeswalker decks are always available to you guys. The difference with a bundle is the bundle we feel is for the engaged player. It has a player's guide in there, it's got a checklist of all those cards, it also comes with 10 boosters. That's not a super friendly new player purchase. And so we really, where it's different, where we have a smaller print run for those Fat Packs, or now bundles, the Planeswalker deck should always be available for you.
Cool. Then we had a question from Zachariah. Are all the cards of the Planeswalker deck standard legal at the time of printing?
They are. The goal of this is that a new player could purchase this, outfit it with a couple cards, and then bring it to one of your Friday Night Magics.
Yep, and the 2 boosters is a great way for them to add new cards to it, and hopefully that encourages further adjustments and things from there. Great. Well, let's see. Do we have any other questions?
We're looking to the left because our questions that you guys are posting come up here on the left. So if you keep seeing us turn our head to the left, that's why.
There's something really exciting happening off camera right here. So, all right. It appears we have one more question coming in from Alex. Alex asks, what does exciting new standard legal Planeswalker not found anywhere else mean? So to elaborate a little bit, or clarify rather, the Planeswalker card you're going to find in the Planeswalker deck is not in the set of Kaladesh itself. It's a unique Planeswalker card to the Planeswalker deck. And these Planeswalkers are designed specifically for newer players in mind, so their abilities and things are designed with the idea that new players will be playing with them. So these cards are unique and standard legal, but are not within the set of Kaladesh itself. So when you open up a Kaladesh booster, you'll never see a Planeswalker card from the Planeswalker.
They're only in the deck itself.
Yeah, hope that answers your question. Great, and we're just scanning for a couple more questions if there are any coming in. Great. And again, any questions that we miss in the comments, just because we are scrolling through fairly quickly, if you guys, I will personally be going through the Facebook group and trying to answer those as best as I can. And also this video will be available in the Facebook group afterwards as well. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, I do encourage you guys to make sure that you are subscribed for notifications within the group. If you click towards the top of the Facebook group page itself, you should be able to find where you can turn on notifications. Also, if you go to facebook.com/WPN Community Manager, that's my Facebook page there, and you add me as a friend. You should also get notifications when we do these live stream events and anything else posting as well. So that's a great way to kind of keep posted about these kind of videos and these kind of opportunities to ask questions. I think that's going to be.
I think we have one more question.
One more question.
We have one more question from Desmond. How will the new Planeswalkers fit into the lore-wise? Great question, Desmond. The plan for these is, so for example, if we were to use Shadows over Innistrad, you have Jace as the key art for Shadows over Innistrad, and it shows Jace unraveling the madness on the plane of Innistrad. With that, well, that could be, you saw the Planeswalker card and what he was doing in the Planeswalker card. This could just be this will be just like another story moment of that Planeswalker. So it's the Planeswalker in world doing just something different throughout the the story beats that we're trying to amplify to really give that great entertainment experience for the player. So lore-wise, they are still in the set. They are still doing the same thing that their other card is doing in the main set.
Yeah, like you guys saw so far with the announcement, we're coming to Kaladesh, which is Chandra's home plane, and Chandra is going to be one of the Planeswalker decks. So the Planeswalkers chosen for them are very much resonant to the story that we're telling. Great. I think that's all the questions we'll be answering for this time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be doing these question and answer sessions more regularly from here on out. It won't be Brian joining us every time, but we'll have different members from brand, R&D, etc. joining to answer your questions about a variety of topics and products. The next one will be in 2 weeks. We're looking to see if Wednesday noon is the best time. If you have thoughts on a better time for you guys to be able to tune in, please leave a comment in the video, and that way we can help gather and kind of survey when is a great time for these live streams to happen. Thanks for joining us for this very first one. My name is Yichao. I'm the community manager for WPN. This is Brian Trunk, global brand manager, and we will see you guys later and answer more questions for you in 2 weeks. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.